Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Market Update / Market Thoughts with me, Rob Howe. Today I'm gonna go over how you time the market, and cash is super king and queen, social media effect on the market, real estate market, and markets in general. Opendoor loses $1 billion, almost $1 billion, and the rate change. You wanna find out about all that? Plus I got a tip for you that you can't miss, and that'll be at the very end. I assure you, you'll want to hear it. Let's check it all out on the other side, folks. Hey, thanks for sticking with me. I think you'll be glad you did, because I got a bunch to talk about today. The market thoughts are good. The market update is good. I have a lot of information. Not necessarily that it's the greatest market update. I mean, I'm gonna jump right in, of course, about something that everybody knows. As I predicted, it was an easy prediction. The interest rate jumped 0.75 basis points. And I just wanted to quickly talk about that because I saw Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, talking about this, and he's still taking a hawkish approach, in my opinion. That is the concern ahead, that maybe we'll get another upward rate change because they're still taking a hawkish approach. We want to see dovish.
We want to see, aw, cute little dove.
You know, because that's when we know that they feel like they're getting the job done with these gosh darn rate movements that have really slowed the market. But right now, he's basically saying that
the window for a soft landing has narrowed.
That was not language that I was excited to see. I think a lot of people would agree with me. I just wanted to give you a quick thought on that. And what that's going to mean for you as a buyer going ahead is that, hey, if you have to buy, if you do want to avoid renting, you need to get involved in that ASAP. If you're a seller, you also need to make your price very warm and lucrative to a buyer. Buyers are looking for deals. And it doesn't mean that you're still not getting a deal. Depending on where you bought your property, you still could be selling at quite a nice increase over the last couple of years. So, you know, don't be a penny smart and a nickel foolish here. Be smart with your pricing. If you gotta sell, make sure you do it and get it done for yourself. Give a buyer what they feel like is a deal right now. That's smart. All right, so I'm gonna talk about timing the market. Timing the market is something I think a lot of people are planning on doing. This is where this ties into the interest rates, because they feel that the Fed is going to come down off of their hiking, and soon, maybe turning into next year, a lot of people have talked about, suddenly next year we'll just see them start declining these rates. Well, based on what I've seen, the Fed does not have that in store. They've missed the window for a soft landing, or it has narrowed, as they say. Just the fact that they even indicated that, it's kind of an ominous sign that we're going to have these interest rates higher for a longer period of time. So, again, you're a seller, you want to get that done as soon as possible. Your timing of this market is going to be on a longer period of time. I think that even when we get over on the other side of this, it's going to take a little while, even when they start dropping rates. We don't know exactly what that means. We don't know what that means for the buyer pool ahead. So timing the market for you as a seller, I would be selling right now if that's what you need to do. If not, I would be looking at a longer time frame, a year plus maybe. If you can hold and you can rent, or if you just don't have to sell, maybe that's what you do. I'm never going to tell somebody don't sell, because you got to really look at why you're selling. If you need to sell, if you want to take advantage of what has been still in the last couple of years an upward market, then maybe you go ahead and cash out, if that makes sense. And as a buyer, I think a lot of buyers are trying to time the market too. Oh, this market's going to come down, and then the interest rates will start falling, and that's when I can get involved. Well, I just would be careful about that too. We don't know when that's going to happen. It could mean that you're renting for a long period of time. Look at what it's costing you to rent. I mean, you know, just do the math. It's easy math. 12 times whatever your rent is. That's what it's costing you yearly, and what you could be putting into your own home that you own. So sit down and think about what this means if you're going to have to rent for a longer period of time. Rent rates, they've been talking about them going down, but I've only seen them kind of even out and maybe not go up. To reverse the trend to actually where they start falling is going to be a more difficult procedure, longer time frame than what most people think. Timing the market is, you just have to make sure it's your time and have your process, okay? That's what I'm gonna say there, because I'm gonna guarantee everybody's trying to time the market right now, especially when it comes to cash buyers. A lot of these cash buyers are just bailing out. I mentioned Opendoor losing a bunch of money. These are the types of things that scare these cash buyers, especially investors right now, because they feel like, well, the investment is not good. Maybe I can wait a little while and pick up a property. That may be true. I think you're going to certainly be able to. You are not only king, but you're queen. You have the throne entirely if you're cash right now. You can absolutely dictate terms and get smoking deals on properties with cash right now. I believe it's something we're thinking strongly about, especially in the next 3 to 4, maybe at the most 6 months. I think in this zone right now, that's what we're looking at as being possibly the best time to use your cash to purchase a property. It's something where I think we need to take a look, and you're gonna need to watch what I'm saying each month, because I think that some of this stuff could come to fruition and be seen a little bit more easily. On the other hand, if you've got the cash sitting around and you want to put it into something that is, I always think, smart real estate, especially for your primary residence and possibly for investment, that's where I'd be looking. It's where I'm personally looking. I'm waiting for my opportunity. So I'll let you in on my adventure if I start that adventure when I do. And now I just wanted to move on to, I'll jump into the Opendoor deal, because it kind of ties in with a lot of the fear that investors have had. Opendoor reported losing nearly $1 billion, 900 and something million dollars in revenue. They are just absolutely bleeding right now. I think this is something to consider differently than your usual investor and investment property purchaser. They were slinging around the money and outbidding people and going a little nuts. And I think the business model has never been something that I completely agree with. Certainly do not agree with people using them to purchase their property, although some people might have made a halfway decent deal with them, considering that they've lost a lot of money in this business model. They were saying things that weren't true. They were telling people that they would give them the best deals and all this stuff, and I'm sure you can look at articles. As a matter of fact, I'll put one in the comments section about how they got fined and how they lost money this year. We may be looking at closed door, not open door, if they continue to bleed this way. It's an interesting story. I think it does scare people that are investors to say, oh wow, if this big company can't do it, maybe I shouldn't be getting involved. I would ignore that. That big company's made some bad investments, in my opinion. And you have to make your own decisions and not always base them off of what big companies are doing. I'm gonna go into now what I think is a big piece to the puzzle of what's been happening in our market, in real estate and markets in general.
That is the social media effect.
If you think back on to when the last time we had a recession, the Great Recession, which started in 08, they say, but really started a little sooner than 2008. We did not have quite the same social media effect that we have now. And I think that it is playing into the perception of what is reality for people. Perception versus reality, I should probably say. You're looking at me right now, hearing me talk about the markets and things, and a lot of people are looking for direction. And so there's a lot more avenues to find that direction now, and people are a lot more understanding and open to looking in these areas for that kind of information. And I think that since 2008, the last recession, we've had an explosion of that kind of information. And the way that it's delivered. It's a lot of headlines, it's a lot of scandalizing and mysterious, and hey, what does this mean? And are we in a market crash? I mean, I've used, of course, a number of these myself, and I will probably do something similar on this title. I think you have to think about it in those terms sometimes, because people are sort of pushing different messages, I would say, like, for example, foreclosures. Foreclosures are not anywhere near any kind of concerning rate, but if you look at them from the past, you know, especially when there were no foreclosures during the pandemic and after, because there was a moratorium, once they allowed to have foreclosures, even one foreclosure meant 100% increase, right? So people will take those numbers and they will put them in your face like, oh my God, we've had this big, massive increase of foreclosures. But you're not looking back on what is the traditional amount of, there's always foreclosures. There's always distressed sales in the marketplace. Absolutely always. It's just the way it goes. Sometimes people fall on hard times or they whatnot. There's a number of reasons why that happens. But it's nothing concerning in my mind, although people will take that and make it appear concerning. Just to get the views, just to get, you know, some drama going. That's what it seems like. We're in a reality drama TV series constantly. We're taking the reality and making that into the dramatization. I'm not saying that there isn't something real happening. Of course there is. I just think we have to look at it as logically as possible and remember that there's a lot of sensationalizing going on, and the social media effect of the real estate market and markets in general has never been stronger, and it's something to consider. So the final thing I'm going to do is give you just a quick tip. Many people know this already, but I ran into a friend that didn't really think about this, and it helped him a bunch. Insurance. You should be shopping for your insurance. Probably, you know, some people do it yearly or every other year. It's wonderful when you find an insurance that you can stay with and be loyal to, but oftentimes your insurance rates go up, you don't even realize it, and you can go out and get a shop around for a better deal. So I would ask people to take a look and maybe think about bundling their insurance, whether it's you know, car and home or multiple homes. You bundle them all together and you can usually bring that to a new insurance and maybe get a smoking deal on it and even get better coverage. If you're looking for a great company, I would go with Diana Zhu over at State Farm. I've been using her for many years, and she doesn't know this, but I still will shop around, and she's always been able to keep me very happy, and really ultimately comes down to the bottom line, right? So I don't overpay for my insurance. I think it's something that you should pay attention to, and that's my tip. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Market Thoughts with your pal Rob. I am a Las Vegas realtor. I work the whole Las Vegas Valley. That includes Henderson. So if you need a realtor, I'm here when you need me. And now you know how. Rob how. Call me anytime, text me, throw a rock through my window. I don't care how you get a hold of me. Just get a hold of me when you're ready. And have a fabulous day, everybody. I'll see you on the next episode. Boo!